Hi, it's Paul. This unknown effusion case is from a 66-year-old male, and he had a large right pleural effusion, and the clinical notes indicated extensive small cell carcinoma. So what did you think of this? Did it fit with the clinical notes? These were single and in kind of loose groupings. Certainly on the PAPs there seemed to be some grouping of the cells indicating it was maybe carcinoma. And there were some little linear chains. I think if you looked in the especially air-dried specimens where the cells were forming just linear arrangements. There was a lot of mitotic activity. I showed you some of those cells. Mostly the cells were small and quite round. They had a high NC ratio with fairly delicate cytoplasm sort of all the way around the nucleus. So it didn't really look like lymphoid cytoplasm in that it wasn't forming that crescent of cytoplasm with quite a well-defined border. The nuclei showed moderate anisokaryosis, especially variation in shape. There was some quite irregularly shaped nuclei present. Chromatin was stippled, I think, certainly on the DiffQuicks it looked kind of funky, and I think it would do me for stippling. Not great, probably on the PAPs. On the PAPs there were small nucleoli present in all of the nuclei, and although they weren't prominent, they were certainly present, as I said, in most of the cells. There was, I believe, some moulding present, although it was not as pronounced as sometimes seen in neuroendocrine carcinomas. So the messages here are a little mixed, I guess. It was certainly morphologically most like a neuroendocrine carcinoma, but some of the features were not really classic in that the cells, I think, had a little more cytoplasm than you often see, and certainly the nucleoli are slightly off-putting as well. Although there were chains of cells, they weren't forming these really classic sort of long worms of cells. We made a cell block from this calretinin, just highlighting some background mesothelial cells. CD45 similarly just highlighted background lymphocytes and were negative in the malignant cells. A13 was good positive, and not really sure, but if you look around and use your imagination, there's probably some dot positivity in the perinuclear region of some cells. CD56 showed very strong membrane staining, and this is the negative TTF1. Chromogranin A and synaptophysin were also negative. Now we did have on file a record of lung biopsy being performed and reported, and it showed an infiltrate of poorly differentiated malignant cells, which showed the same immunoprofile as that seen in the cytology. So CD56 and cytokeratins were positive. Other neuroendocrine markers were negative, as was TTF1, and also extensive panel to exclude other types of tumours were all negative as well. So on summary, this was considered to be consistent with small cell carcinoma of lung. So I hope you enjoyed that case. Thanks for watching.